What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for September 26, 2017. I always have to look at the calendar to make sure I know what the date is. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell. Ed, do you realize that this is the penultimate show of you being here in this area, and this cool Power Block banner will kind of be gone, and it'll just be you and me doing like 2 or 3 shows in a row.
Yeah.
In a cool togetherness thing. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude,
yes.
Live from the NGR headquarters. I cannot wait. Yes.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. Also, Ed and I and a few of the other NGR crew have some cool content planned. Ed, I sent you that big list in the Arsenal X chat, so Jesse can check it out. We're gonna do a bunch of cool stuff while Ed's here for you guys. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, Ed, and I've been playing a ton of Nintendo games. It's been like the best week ever.
So lucky. I've been playing some Nintendo games, but I've been like literally catching up on some other stuff. But we'll get into that.
Yeah. So basically, Ed and I we want to get Let's Pod and Play back up, and that's kind of like what our major plan is while Ed's here, is to do a bunch of Let's Pod and Plays and stuff like that. But we also have some plans to start doing kind of like trailer and Nintendo Direct reactions and a couple other things. Let me pull up the list here. We are talking about the Daily Show. I don't know how that's going to go yet because of Wednesday nights are super busy for me, and I don't know. We are still talking about it. We do have plans for that, but
yes,
we're gonna start doing review discussions like when a major title comes out and we play it. I think our first major one is gonna be Horizon, and we're gonna talk about that and like the diversity stuff that we've kind of talked about before, and
yes,
kinda like, how they make the statement without making the statement and how that's good for the world. We're gonna do franchise retrospectives, maybe like once a month. So that's something that you guys can look forward to. I'm super excited. We're gonna do an unboxing of the Super Nintendo Classic.
Yes,
I'm so excited for that, dude. And then some kind of unboxings of special editions that we get, if we get them or not. I'm super excited. The Fire Emblem Warriors one too.
Yeah, because there's 2 unboxings that we and Corey have actually was able to pre-order. Like literally, when you told me you was able to pre-order the second item, that following day I went to GameStop and got it also.
Oh yeah. The Xenoblade Collectors edition.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also pre-ordered the controller too. So I'm pretty pumped, dude. I have not put my Switch down in like a week. Yeah, I mean, I put it down a little bit to play Destiny, but I'm kind of at that point where like, okay, I've checked a bunch of things off the list on Destiny, so I play it like twice a week now, just to maintain. Maybe 3 times. It depends on what's happening, but yeah, man, played so many Nintendo games. Played Octopath Traveler, the demo for Octopath Traveler. I played some Pokken Tournament, which came out this week. I played a little bit of NBA 2K18 on Switch. I didn't get it yet because it's not out physically, but my friend downloaded it because he's going all digital, and he brought his Switch to work, and I tried it out because I was like, hey, can I like play it for like 10 minutes to just because like I do Nintendo show, blah blah blah. I want to talk about it because this game is very high on my radar. NBA 2K18 looks amazing on Switch. Like, if you showed me a screenshot of that and told me that was NBA 2K18 not on Switch, like if it was like an Xbox One or PS4 version, I probably would have believed you. It looks really good. I mean, I only played it in handheld mode, but man, dude, it looks really good. The game, it stutters a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't. Stutter's the wrong word. It runs at 30 frames a second instead of 60 frames per second, like the PS4 and Xbox One versions. But everything's there. Like the whole game is there, and it got me really excited for my version for Switch, because like the one thing I want to do is just play basketball on the couch while we're watching TV. You know, like I was messing around with just quick play. Spoilers: the Cavs are really good in that game. LeBron's really good. I'm from Akron, and I like the Cavs a lot. So
awesome.
I am a pre LeBron Cavs fan though. Okay, I was there for the bad and then the good with Mark Price and Brad Daugherty and Danny Ferry, and then I went back into the bad where we didn't have anybody on our team, and then we got good again. So it's okay, guys. I'm not one of them bandwagon guys, although LeBron and everybody else do make it really easy to watch the Cavs again. But
right,
dude, NBA 2K18 looks really good on Switch, and if you're looking for a portable version of the game, like I understand a lot of people want to play online or and maybe Switch isn't the best place to play it online. I mean, the online is functional, but I mean, like, people who are super hardcore and want to play online every day or whatever, like, I don't know, maybe you'll probably just get it on Xbox One or PS4, but like the Switch version is a very competent version of the game. The whole game's there. The only difference is it runs at 30 frames a second, and there's a slight, almost unnoticeable graphic, decline in graphics, but it's the full game. It works. It's good. I like it.
It's funny. The Xbox One version might be the physical one that's selling between PS4. But once again, a lot of my Twitter friends, a lot of people are playing it on Switch. They are loving this game, taking it on the go. So digital sales might be good for it.
Yeah, I was a little worried, and like there's some stories coming out that like the frame rate issues or not frame rate, but the save state issues are kind of initially were bad on Switch, but I think they fixed that problem with a patch.
It was problematic on all systems.
It's like I think the game is like 30 something gigs on Switch, which is it's fine, whatever. I don't care. I have a big enough memory card, but like what did you expect? They're trying to give you the full game, and they gave you the full game, and so
right.
I was thoroughly impressed that this was running on Switch. I'm not gonna lie. The 30 frames a second thing kind of threw me a little bit, but once you get used to it, like you won't even notice. Like I mean, you'll notice, but you won't notice unless it's like up against another version. Like
right.
Most sports games run at 60 frames a second. Well, supposed to. I think Madden runs at like 15 frames a second sometimes. It's just really bad. Madden's just. Anyways, I also played a Pokken Tournament, which, I mean, it's the Wii U game with a couple extra characters. It has all the arcade characters. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. I'm not really into Pokken Tournament, but I got it because like Switch, I'm trying to get all the first party games at least physically, and I want to build that Switch collection. It's fun. I don't know how long I'll be playing it. I think ARMS is better personally if you're looking for a first party fighting game, or even if you're looking for another fighting game. I think maybe Street Fighter 2 might be a little bit better, honestly. But like if you're into Pokemon and kind of like that 3D fighter, it kind of reminds me of like Pokemon meets Fire or Power Stone. Like it has that isometric kind of look to it. It's fun. I'm maining Charizard because Charizard's the best.
I know that the sales are going to be slow for it. I was talking to one of my Twitter friends saying that they released it on a week that a lot of people didn't get paid. And for some people who get paid every 2 weeks and stuff, they get 3 checks this month. So people probably gonna pick it up next Friday. I know a lot of people picked up Pokemon Gold and Silver, but like I think Pokemon DX is probably gonna pick up throughout the holiday, like once more Switches and stuff come out. because I'm like, it sold 1 million when it came out on Wii U. So I'm expecting it to do close to that same number over time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I expect it to do well. I think it'll really hit its stride during the holiday when people are picking up Switches for their kids and they're like, oh, my kid likes Pokemon. Oh, to get this, Pikachu's very prominently featured on the front of the box. So
right.
I think a lot of parents whose kids are into Pokemon, they know at least who Pikachu is. So, like I said, it's a very competent game. It's very fun. It's very, it's very Pokemon. So, but the last game is something I really, really want to talk about. It's the demo of Octopath Traveler.
Yes.
Holy crap, dude. I played so much of that game to the point where I was like, I'm literally just like putting my Switch down and listening to the music. Like the music is so good. And like the they don't really have cutscenes, but they have like hand-drawn art, kind of
like stills.
Like stills. Dude, the art is amazing. I need an art book of Octopath Traveler when it comes out. Like the watercolory, kind of old school Final Fantasy watercolor stuff.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe they aren't calling that, like, putting Final Fantasy on the box. Like, because of how much it reminds me of the Super Nintendo games specifically. Like, I've only played the Primrose section. I haven't played as the other character, which is the Knight. But dude, that game is so dark. I started it up and like I don't know if I really want to spoil anything, but like I can't spoil anything. But like,
okay,
it's dark.
Let's give it to next episode. Because I haven't played it yet, due to some other things, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But
you played on the train on the way here.
Yes. Yeah. And because I need that RPG. Like I still gotta buy that my micro SD card, but I also need to buy let's see, to Evermore. The One Square game. I Am Setsuna. I need to buy that for Switch. But I'm so ready. I got it downloaded on my system. So I haven't started it yet, but your hype and hearing some of the music, I'm just like, oh, this is already a must-have. Like, there's no ands ifs about it. Like, and I know some people were just like, they prefer this game over Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I call that blasphemy for right now. But I'm so looking forward to this because a lot of people are saying that it takes the fighting mechanic from Bravely Default and brings it into this old JRPG. When they mentioned that, I was just like, oh yeah, this is a must-have. Like, this is probably a month that I need to dedicate. Just like Tokyo Mirage Session, I need to dedicate a month to that too. Which that needs a Switch port. That game needs a Switch port. Yeah. But yeah, let's save it for next episode because we'll be live and we'll be able to talk more about it.
Yeah. And by the way, I think Ed, when you're here, I think we're going to try to live stream the recordings of the episode.
Yes.
Man, I just that game is so good. Sorry, I got distracted. Our co-host for Arsenal X, Jesse, just sent us a message in the Facebook chat, and I got distracted. But yeah, man, it's so good. This just became maybe my second most anticipated Switch game behind Xenoblade. I could not believe what I was playing. Like, this is probably one of the best products Square Enix has put out since Final Fantasy IX, in my opinion. Like, at least just by playing 3 hours of the demo, like, I mean, it's really good. I mean, it's the Bravely Default team has really just they've taken what made Bravely Default great and the second game really great. Like, they've upped it, man. The art style, the music, the character design, the stills, like the dialogue, like the game, like the spoken dialogue threw me off. Like I was like, whoa, this game has voice acting. This is amazing. Like,
like I fear for the soundtrack because like I want the Ion Setsuna soundtrack. Like I want the physical copy, and I fear for me that I'm gonna hear this game's music because I haven't listened to any of the like I said, I haven't started the game. I feel like I'm gonna be like, I need a limited edition or I need a special edition of this game with the soundtrack, with the art book. Like I need that. And if I don't get it, I'm gonna feel like, hopefully, I feel like if Japan gets it, I need to find a way to import the game from Japan.
Yeah.
Like so I could have that because I'm a big music person in video games. And in 2017, the music for video games has been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And when I start Project Octopath, if I hear the music and I put it down just like you and be like, I don't even want to play the game. I want this. I want to hear this. And then I'll probably be on Twitter and Facebook, be like in a group, someone needs to make a live recording of this like right now. That's what I fear that's going to happen to me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you are a fan of RPGs in general, or like old school Final Fantasy, or anything that's like,
that's me.
Like, honestly, like I think people like, like Moose, who doesn't really care for Nintendo, but kind of likes old school RPGs and is like really into PlayStation. Like, this game's going to turn his head to maybe go look for a Switch, or like,
yes,
people who love the Japanese role-playing scene on PlayStation consoles, or like Vita kind of JRPG stuff. Like, they're going to turn their heads and say, hey, I need a Switch for that game. Like, I think this game has that much power behind it. So, I mean, look out for that game. It's going to be something amazing.
Like I said, it's a must-have to me, personally.
Yeah.
So, but let me quickly get into what I've been playing. Starting first with Metroid: Samus Returns.
Yes. Please tell me about Metroid: Samus Returns.
Okay. Metroid: Samus Returns broke my 3DS.
What?
Yes. The actual circle pad, analog pad, the circle one.
Yeah.
The button part came off.
Oh no.
While I was playing Metroid. So now my 3DS still works. So it got this little plastic nub that I'm playing with. Somehow the circle pad cracked for it to fall off. So yes, a new 2DS is in the process of coming my way sometime soon. But Samus Returns is literally the Metroid game that everybody must have and must play. And it's one of those games that, yes, it still feels linear. It still feels like a Metroid game, but the exploration in it is phenomenal. And it might seem that the counter attack is a little bit too much, but it's fine. Definitely when you're fighting bosses, and definitely when you feel like you're about to die and just anticipating that hit and timing and stuff. It really feels good. And we'll have a discussion on this on another show later. But a question was asked that people said that Metroid: Samus Return is the best 3DS game, and it's not to me. It's a great game.
Oh no, dude! Link Between Worlds is probably the best 3DS game.
Thank you for agreeing with me. Thank you for agreeing with me.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I love a good 2D Metroid, but I mean, I think. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure Samus Returns is great. Like,
yes,
it's the 2D Metroid game that people have been asking for a while. It's based on a game that not a lot of people really understood at the time because it was stuck on the Game Boy and it was black and white and it was super zoomed in and there was no map, stuff like that. But at the same time, now this is from somebody who hasn't played it yet. And I'm listening to you and Larry talk about it and listening to a lot of podcasts where people have played it. The thing behind the game is the fact that it has the bone structure of that game. And they tried to add stuff to it to make it a more complete version of that game. They added bosses and they added, the melee counterattack and stuff like that. but at the same time, I feel like that bone structure is kind of what's holding it back. That and the fact that it's stuck on the 3DS, like, I think that those are the two things holding it back. But still, an amazing job at creating something out of this kind of bare bones Metroid game. They made something cool out of it.
It's the 3DS game of 2017. I will say that. But I think this game.
There's still a ton of 3DS games coming out. You can't say that yet.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
And plus, yeah, and plus we'll see how the sales do and stuff. But we energize people to have love for the Metroid series. People were just like, oh well, it's a remake, but a lot of people are saying this feels like a brand new game. Like they're using this game as an example of this is what a reimagining of a game should be. And I kind of agree with them. Now, I don't think it's the best 3DS game ever. Link Between Worlds is still that. Because Link Between Worlds beat out console gaming for Game of the Year when it came out. Mm-hmm. And it kind of showcased what happens when Link is giving freedom, when a Zelda game is getting freedom, pre-Breath of the Wild. And because Breath of the Wild took it to a whole nother level, literally took it to a whole nother level. So that's a different discussion. But Metroid Samus Returns, due to the fact that it's based on an existing game and, they added new stuff and kind of fixed some things, it's great. It's a game to, once again, study. It's going to be beloved by many, but it's not the best of being the game of all time of 3DS, So we'll have that discussion later on. But I'm enjoying it. Just got the gravity suit. Still got some more Metroids to bust. And really just getting a lot of like power ups and stuff. It's challenging. Like someone said, it's the Dark Souls of the Metroid series of the 3DS. I'm like, yeah, it is hard, but they are forgiving at some parts, which I like. Mario and Rabbids, I actually just fought the Piranha Plant mixed with the Rabbids and stuff, so enjoying that. Still haven't played my Rayman Legends, but I will be starting that soon. And then later on I'll be picking up some more Switch games. I like 5 of them that I put on my list, like, okay, need to start getting these games. Been playing Destiny 2, and fixes a lot of problems that I had with the first Destiny. I am really enjoying this game over the first Destiny. I love the fact that the environments look colorful, like they look full, I like the ship level, like the planet where the ships
Titan.
look busted. Yeah. I really like that level. I like how the colors of the sea and how
how it just brings that bold red of the pillars in with the sea, and then you go into the inside some of these things where the hive have taken over, and it's just this bright yellow, and you see green glowing eyes just showing through the bright yellow. It's the colors are very standoutish. It's like remember how Gears of War 1 and 2 were super brown and kind of monotoned in that brownish color, and then you get to Gears 3 and there's all these greens and reds and blues, and it's very tonally different in terms of color palette. That's kind of how I feel about Destiny 2 from Destiny 1, where the structures are still there. You still know which enemies you're going to fight in whatever area you're in, but even when you move on to Nessus or Io, the color palettes are just so bold, and it's not just oh, okay, I'm on Mars, so everything has this red overlay on it, or I'm on Venus, so everything is yellow. It's cool. The color palettes are awesome, and yeah, it's, and I know we're going to talk a lot about it on Arsenal X because Jesse's been playing a lot of it too.
Yes.
And I did the exact opposite of what I said I wasn't going to do, where I have 3 characters on both platforms now.
And what, we'll talk about that. I got to find a story on why, because there was a story about they designed the game that way that you have to use all 3 characters. and that you can't have three of the same characters. So we'll talk about that on AX. So hopefully you guys will check that out, because we're going to have a part 2 of that discussion with that game. But Destiny 2, I'm really enjoying this game over the first one. I'm not, to tell you the truth, I'm not bothered in this game about being locked out. The fights are not that long, and literally they're very easy to handle, because with the loot drop and stuff, with the guns and everything, and just going up with powers. And I know you mentioned leveling up in public events and stuff, but the level progression has been really oh, go ahead, Corey.
Well, when I said about public events, like I was just talking about after you beat the campaign, once you hit level 20, that's the easiest way to get your power level up, is just to grind public events and then do your milestones once you hit that 265 cap, because then you'll get the powerful gear, which will boost you to 270 super quick. So I mean that's all I wanted to point out. Like I know like there's some points where like you get to and you need to be like level 15 and you'll be level 13, and then you do a couple strikes or do like some public events or multiplayer and you're that in like a half hour. But yeah, Destiny 2, like now I'm leveling up my secondary and tertiary characters now, and it's just like I have the level booster, so like I get like 1.5 times experience, so I'm flying through the campaign now because I don't have to do like the side stuff because I'm already that level. Like I don't like when I got to where I needed to be level 11 to advance, I was like level 13 because I had so many level boosters from my primary character that I would just like. And the nice thing about Destiny 2 also that I just noticed when I started my other characters is like your inventory goes with you to that next character. Like the inventory is shared, so you don't have to keep moving stuff between characters. It just goes there. The only thing you have to switch over are like weapons, which is super nice, which is a great change from Destiny 1.
Yes, good. Yeah, I'll probably do a Titan and Warlock later on, because I my stuff from Destiny 1, like 2 of my characters, I guess somewhat carried over, but I'm gonna get rid of them because I already beat the game and I'm not gonna be playing Destiny 1 because of Destiny 2. I'm doing a lot of the adventure stuff, like the side quests, and I'm lucky that's in the game. That was the big thing that I had with Destiny 2. That's like, this is needed, and I like that. There's other characters that you could buy guns from on that planet. So and I also got in touch with Xur, but I didn't have no legendary or coins or glimmer or whatever that crap is.
Yeah, he wasn't selling anything good this week anyway. Last week was like, if you were a warlock last week, that chess piece, that legendary chess piece was like, or the exotic chess piece that he was selling last week was awesome for warlocks, because like when you aim down sights and you're in the air, it allows you to hover, and each precision kill you get adds to your hover, like the hover timer. So like you can sit in the air and just pick off guys. And so and the fusion rifle he was selling last week is supposedly really good for the raid, but that I've gotten like 4 of those in drops at this point. Wow. So it's like whatever, I didn't need. But I've been buying everything up just for my secondary and third character, just to have it, and I play enough to where I have enough legendary shards to just buy them. But
so that's what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm glad that I got my Switch, and I need to play more of it. I need to buy this micro SD card. I'm probably gonna be doing that hopefully over the weekend. When I'm with Corey, we might stop in the store and be like, oh, if there's a micro SD card, I need to buy that.
Oh yeah, I mean, right after we go stay online for Super Nintendo, we have to go to GameStop so I can pick up FIFA on Switch, because I want to talk about that too. I just want to see what it's like. Man, you should see my pre-order list for Switch, man. It keeps getting longer.
I seen it, dude.
Well, I canceled my Wolfenstein pre-order for PS4 and moved it to Azure Striker Gunvolt Double Pack, which comes out in November. Like, dude, November, there's like 15 games coming out in November, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for all this.
Okay. I know that I need to, because I definitely, when I get back in, I need to spend 2 weeks with Wolfenstein The New Order, and then because I want to get ready for Wolfenstein 2. I do want to do kind of like maybe an audio or a written review for that. Kind of want to get into that game and spend time with it. But like Rayman Legends, I need to play. Mario Raps, like I'm going to be playing my Switch like really soon. Everybody, I'm picking up a few more games. Disgaea 5, I have to get. One of my friends told me about that.
Yeah, Disgaea 5's awesome.
And just to let I know all you power blockers watching this, hopefully Monster Hunter World, when that drops for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, I'm thinking I'm going to pick up both games, and I kind of want to see if anybody want to play that with me, because TGS just happened, and
we should try it out. I could get it too, and we could try it out.
Yes,
like I think Joey is gonna get it on Xbox One, so I think I'm gonna get that version, and he's gonna try to teach me what Monster Hunter is all about.
Yes, because they said that game is that you really need to play with other people. But I enjoyed it on the Wii U, and I enjoyed my Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on Wii. But yeah, that's coming in the future. I'll let you guys know more about that. Also, I put out a question to you all. Switch has had Nintendo has an amazing year, and hopefully you guys can go to our Power Block Facebook page, and I hope you guys see my question that with the great games that came out, like how was your experience for right now with gaming on your Switch or your 3DS or even your Wii U? Kind of want to know what you guys think of Nintendo this year. And I also did it for Xbox and PS4. So whatever system that you guys own, be positive and be respectful in your comments. Whether it's been good or bad, I really want to hear what you guys thought of gaming for 2017 at this moment, because by the time December comes, it's going to be a fight of what game is going to take top race.
Do you think Nintendo is going to have 2 perfect 10s this year? You think Mario Odyssey could hit that 10 mark?
Yes.
That game is super intimidating. Like I was listening to a show the other day where they were like, yeah, we went in and like there are just power moons everywhere, and like you go into a level and you're tracking down one power moon, which has like an extended kind of almost like quest line structure to it, and as you're doing that one, you get sidetracked and go find like 4, 5, 6 different ones before you get to that one, and it takes a lot of cues from Breath of the Wild that way, and it's like, man, I don't know if I could do that for a Mario game, because once I start collecting those power moons, I'm going to want to get them all. And like, but I'm going to want to finish Mario Odyssey before Xenoblade comes out.
Okay.
So I'm just like
yes. But yeah, because there's just so much. Like,
I know. There's so much. Here's
I'm spending $200 alone in October, because I'm buying my like I said, I'm buying me and my mom Mario Odyssey, and then I got the $80 collection of Fire Emblem Warriors for Switch, and it's just like, dude, October alone is packed.
Yeah, for me, like for the rest of the year, on Switch, I need to add. I'll add it later. For me, it's like, okay, so September is almost finished, but I still got FIFA 18 next week. But in October, I have Battle Chasers, NBA 2K18, Fire Emblem Warriors, Knights of Azure 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Azure Striker Gunvolt. Those are the games I'm picking up for Switch in October. And then in November, it gets even worse. It's Sonic Forces, the Zelda Champions amiibo, the Super Mario Odyssey amiibo, the Batman Telltale Games Season 1, LA Noire, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Rhyme, Skyrim, Axiom Verge, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, and then you move into December, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Doom, and then games that don't even have release dates yet are WWE 2K18 and Redout. And it's just like, where am I going to get all this money?
And then they keep dropping games.
I know, like okay, so we're going to get into our news bits and get into that first story right now, where the critically acclaimed puzzle platformer Inside has just been announced for Switch. So that's gonna be a big game on Switch. I feel like that is a game I feel like people would be like, yeah, I could double dip and get that on Switch, and it would be I haven't played Inside yet, and this might be the way I play Inside, just because money and time and other things.
Exactly.
So, but that's a big get for Nintendo. That's huge. Inside. I really want Limbo. I really want the Limbo Inside double pack to come to Switch.
I think that's going to come. I think Limbo's going to come later on down. Because Limbo is on Wii U? No, it's not.
No.
I don't think it is.
No, Limbo has not appeared on a Nintendo console yet.
Okay. So,
which is sad.
Yeah. Like, this is kind of major. And, yeah. I hit Corey up talking about, they just announced Limbo coming to Switch. And then Harmonix announced the game. Like, I'm like, Harmonix? You guys really, huh? Wait,
yeah, it's like the weird music game.
Like, and see, I thought it was in the Nintendo Direct, and it's not.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't in the Indie Direct either. Oh, man, but
yeah.
And then there's other companies really trying to push games onto Switch. A lot of people know that Final Fantasy 15's director, where's that article? Oh no.
Shinji Mikami is thinking of trying to get The Evil Within 2 on Switch. That's insane.
Yeah,
and
I was getting there too.
He's not even directing this game, but he's just like, we might try to get this game on Switch.
Yeah. He's like that. He said the interest was there. Evil Within is out in just a few weeks, and now producer Shinji Mikami, who previously directed the original game as well as the Resident Evil series, has said he would like to see a Switch version of the horror title. In an interview with GameSpot, Mikami said, I think a Switch version would be interesting. I'd like to try it if I had the chance. First, I'd like to buy a Switch myself. I had to borrow Zelda with the Switch from another staff member to play it.
Dang.
The Evil Within 2 port seems likely because it's published by Bethesda, who has 3 games coming out on Switch in the next few months: Doom, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, and Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So a hypothetical port is not out of the question. It always takes more time to make the first games in the series compared to subsequent games. Also, they have a Switch dev kit, and they're trying to figure out how it works first. So that's the other thing. I don't mind games being delayed on Switch as long as they take the time to put the time in, like Bethesda is doing with Wolfenstein 2 and Doom. Like, okay, yeah, Doom came out last year before I even knew what the Switch was, but like the fact that they're porting it to Switch, and that's actually another news story, which I can just shove in here. The rumored Doom release date is December 13th, and is coming with all subsequent DLC and updates from the original version for free. So that's cool. The multiplayer is a separate 9 gig download, just in case you guys were wondering if you wanted to play Doom multiplayer at all, which I don't think anybody really cares about Doom multiplayer because the single player was so good, which kind of sucks because the multiplayer was developed by who was it developed by? It was developed by the studio who did the Halo 3 and 4 multiplayer. And they do really good at multiplayer stuff, and it was one of those cases where they started on the multiplayer with the old framework of Doom 4, and they were so far into development that changing the multiplayer would have delayed the game by like a year.
Wow.
So like there's loadouts, like you only get to carry around 2 weapons. The maneuvering around the world is different. Like everything is so different with the multiplayer compared to the single player. But the only thing that's not coming is the Snap Map feature. So,
which I think people are fine with.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people utilized it as much as they planned on it being utilized. Yeah. So, I think it's more of, hey, let's just get this game running and making it look as good as we can, and then people can play the multiplayer if they want. So, that's cool though. Like the fact that Bethesda has 3, potentially 4 games coming to Switch. Like, I would really love to see Evil Within. Like, I don't like horror games, but I would buy it just for the simple fact that it's a third-party game on Switch.
Right.
And, you know, I want to do my part in supporting that. And, like, I know that sounds dumb because, like, I've really tried to budget myself and really pay attention to what games I'm buying on PS4 and Xbox One. Like, make sure it's the games I want to play. Like, because those third-party games don't have an issue selling on those platforms, really. But when it comes to Nintendo does, like, I don't want the same thing to happen that happened to GameCube and Wii U, where, like, oh, they'll support it at the beginning and then they'll trail off and not end up supporting it. Like, I want to make sure, like, third-party games keep coming into this machine because I love this machine, and I would love to play every game on my Switch. Like, that is just how my life works now. That is just how my life's going to end up being in the future. Like, my wife and I are trying to have a kid, and, you know, all the things that I have to do. Like, the Switch is just convenient for me to play games, and that's where I want to play my stuff. So I'm going to do my part. And if Evil Within came to Switch, I would definitely buy it. I would probably play it with the lights on in the middle of the day with my wife sitting there because I'm a big scaredy cat, but it's okay. I would still play it. The first one was pretty good, actually. I played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Resident Evil 4, which, you know, I think it's a good Resident Evil game. It's a great game. I don't think it's, like, amazing. But then again, I didn't play it till after, like, Gears of War came out and, like, the popular third-person shooters came out and, like, the controls were kind of stagnant. So, you know, with an updated control scheme, it did feel a lot like that type of Resident Evil game.
I got a question actually for you.
No. What?
Okay, so Red Dead Redemption is you know, there's gonna be a new announcement Thursday,
Yep.
September 28th. If we see a Switch port added to it, can we confirm that Rockstar is really going to be supporting Switch?
I would see it. Here's the thing. I don't really care a lot about Rockstar games, like, really at all. Like, I enjoyed Red Dead enough.
Yes.
Like, it's not a perfect game. I think they have a lot of... I think open world games are more advanced now than, like, when GTA 5 came out or Red Dead came out. That said, like, I think the GTA games kind of control, like, not very well. I'm trying to avoid words like crap and garbage and just I'm trying to avoid those negative words, but, like, for me, GTA, there are a lot of games that control way better than GTA in an open world environment.
Yes.
And I think Red Dead controls a lot better than GTA, but it still has the same problems because it runs on the same engine. But that said, having, like, even if it was like a port of Red Dead 1, I would be okay with it on Switch. Like, you know, I'm looking forward to LA Noire just because I think that game is interesting, and, you know, I would like to see Rockstar support Nintendo because their games are very popular. And so, like, if they announce, like, a port of Red Dead 2 to Switch, I would buy it on Switch because I would just buy it on Switch. I don't care about the online stuff. Like, I would play it in the open world. I probably wouldn't even finish it. I'd probably go back to Destiny or something. But if they announce it for Switch, like, that would be a really exciting announcement. I know I kind of, like, weaved around your question to come back to it, but, like, that would be really exciting to see that announcement, because that would really show, like, arguably one of the biggest third-party developers is porting arguably their second biggest franchise to a console that isn't really supported by third parties, and that would make a statement. It's the same statement Bethesda is making with Doom and Wolfenstein 2. Specifically Wolfenstein 2. It's the same argument they're making with Wolfenstein 2, is that, yeah, we put in a little bit more work to sell X million amount more copies, and that work to port it down to this system is worth it because we're going to make the money, you know?
Yes.
I think, you know, to port the average amount of money it takes to port a game to a lesser console, or just to port a game to a console. I think I was reading an article where it costs somewhere between $600,000 and $800,000 to have a team code the game for like 2 years to port it. And then I was reading something where somebody said it takes about 9 to 12 months to get the coding right to port a game to Switch, which is why we're seeing some of these AAA games being ported late. Or even indie games, like just because they didn't get their dev kits till later, or, you know, Nintendo made a deal with them or whatever. Like, but if they've been working on Red Dead, theoretically, the studio's been working on Red Dead since
earlier this year. Early this year or last year.
What, working on Red Dead? I think they've been working on Red Dead for like 4 or 5 years. Because they're building they built a new engine.
Build a new engine
for the new consoles. But theoretically, like, they could, by the time this game comes out, they would have had a dev kit for like since launch, probably, or at least a little bit afterwards. Like, if they put the work in, like, maybe it doesn't look as good. Whatever, I don't care. But it runs at a smooth 30 frames a second. You get the open world experience. That would be a huge announcement for Switch for Red Dead. Like, I think it would be a huge announcement.
Yeah.
You know, I just, because a lot of people love Rockstar games. Like, GTA is on the top 10 every month. I think somebody said it, out of the last 53 months, it's been on the top 10 50 times since it released. Like, that's ridiculous amount. That's a ridiculous amount of copies. And if, like, you add one more platform to that number and it's your second biggest franchise, like, man, yeah, that would be a big announcement. That would be a big get for Nintendo.
Yes.
I just, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I keep circling back around to, like, people loving Rockstar in this game, but, like, yeah, that'd be huge. I'm thoroughly intrigued about this announcement.
Yeah, I think we'll see, because I know they delayed the game, so maybe they delayed it. That could be one reason, or they needed more time on the game. So yeah.
Or maybe it's both. Maybe, I mean, you never know. I guess we'll know on what, Thursday, you said?
Thursday? Yes.
So, yeah, man, I'm thoroughly interested in seeing what platforms this game comes to. I mean, we know it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One, probably PC later, and then Switch later than that if they decide to port it to Switch. So, we'll see. But yeah, we talked about Final Fantasy 15. They're talking about a Switch port. I'd probably buy that game again if it came to Switch. I enjoyed that game enough to where I think I would try to play it again if it came to Switch.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Warriors, Ed, a game we're both looking forward to.
Yes.
2 news stories about this game. 1, 3 pieces of DLC have been announced for to come out after the game's launch. And it came along with a new trailer revealing Keita and Tiki, 2 classic characters from early Fire Emblem games, will be playable in this game. So this game has a lot of playable characters, Ed. I think there's probably like 20-something characters at this point. There are so many. There are so
Kind of almost like Hyrule Warriors, like how they just kept dropping characters like one after the other. You'd be like, dang, how many characters is
I
in
know,
this
dude.
game?
Every time they show a trailer with a new character in it, that could just be a totally new game. Like,
Pretty much.
there are so many characters. So that's exciting, though. I don't know if I'll stick with the game that long to play DLC. I've never bought DLC for the other Fire Emblem games except for like, okay, I bought Birthright and Conquest, so I bought the Revelations DLC for Birthright. Like, I bought that, but that's just because it was the third part of the game, not because it was extra DLC. Like, I never bought the expansions that were like $20 a piece or whatever. So, Ed, did you play Super Mario Run?
No, I did not, but my mom has it on her iPad, and I want to try it.
Well, get ready, because Mario Run is getting an expansion.
Yeah.
It's getting a new world. You can now play as Daisy, and more content. That's all it says, just more content. So
I think that's good. It's gonna bring in more players, and for those who are watching this video, you could get it half price. I think it's like $4.49 or $4.99 on sale on iOS. So if you guys are up to it, go pick it up.
yeah, there's gonna be a sale next week when the expansion releases. So that's cool, I guess. Let's see. Where do we want to go next with this? We only got a couple more things. So there is some. Oh, Doom. I want to talk about Doom for a minute.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of skipped around it because we had a conversation that involved like 4 news stories, but Doom will run at 720p docked and in handheld mode and at a smooth 30 frames a second. A lot of people said when they played it, they didn't even notice that it wasn't running at 60 frames a second because it felt so much like Doom they didn't even care. So that's good. I mean,
yes.
Look, I play a lot of games at 30 frames a second. Sometimes 60 frames a second gives me a headache. Like when I play Overwatch for too long, I get a headache because of how kind of fast it's moving. Like,
yes.
And I know some people swear by 60 frames. Like if the game's not in 60 frames a second, I'm not playing it. And that's a bunch of garbage because then you miss like 80% of the amazing games that came out this year. Destiny 2 runs in 30 frames a second. So as long as it runs at a smooth 30, like I think Doom is going to be I think Doom secretly might be the biggest game Nintendo, like outside of Nintendo games this year that Switch is getting. Like, I just think that this is amazing that Doom is coming to Switch. I loved Doom. I loved how like over the top and just ridiculous Doom was when I played it on PS4. And the fact that I get to play this on Switch now just makes me really excited. I know it's not like the most amazing game ever. Like I think a lot of people were just caught by surprise.
Oh, how good it was.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think that this game is just secretly one of the best, which makes me think like, okay, so if Wolfenstein 2 is running on the same engine as Doom, that the Switch version is probably also going to run at 720p 30 frames a second.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think because Digital Foundry did, like, they built the PC matching up to the Switch's specs and giving the game a try. And, you know, they talked about some problems with it, but they were just like, we're very positive that this game is really going to be good for Switch players. Like, and they were just like, you could overlook the little problems that they have with it because most of the game, like you said, feels like the original Doom game, and that's good. And I think then they say that Bethesda made it's like a custom made Unreal Engine 4 engine that they made or something.
Bethesda has altered the ID tech, which is or id Tech, I guess. I always called them ID until like. I started hearing people say id Software, but id Tech 5 is what Doom runs on, and it is a altered version of id Tech that will now run on Switch. So, yeah, id Tech has been running games for id and machine games, and you know, I think what's the other company that they have? Like all their games pretty much run on id Tech. So
okay,
I am thoroughly impressed at the engineering behind that engine, and like even Call of Duty runs on a altered version of id Tech. It's so far extra engineered to that it's almost unrecognizable. But Call of Duty also runs on id Tech 3, I think. So
wow.
I mean, it might run in a higher version now, but yeah, even games like Call of Duty run on id Tech. So I think actually, I think Titanfall 2 runs on a version of id Tech also. I don't know. That's wrong. That's wrong. No, it's not. I don't know. I'm not gonna think too hard about it. It hurts my head. But yeah, man, I think that as long as it's a consistent frame rate, and I think a lot of people are just gonna play it in handheld mode, like most people do anyway. Everybody I know, by the way, besides like me and you, probably at some point, like everybody I know, like a lot of people I know that have a Switch have not even plugged in the dock. They have it. Like my friend Brian has not even plugged in the dock for a Switch. He has the charger by his nightstand of his bed and just plugs it in and plays it before he goes to bed.
I have my dock hooked up, but I kind of need to like actually play it on the TV because I've been playing it undocked.
Yeah.
The thing that I said I wasn't going to do, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing the thing Corey does.
Yeah. So yeah, I love my Switch so much. It's the coolest Nintendo device. Like for me, it's my favorite Nintendo device since the GameCube. It's just amazing. I love it so much. I just love it. And now I got my fancy blues. Now I got my fancy blues, and it matches my 3DS.
They literally look so good, dude. Literally look so good.
Oh man, I love it so much, and it matches my 2DS. It's so just. All right, Ed. This is kind of the last news story / topic of the show because I'm saving our questions for when you're here. I'm saving all the questions for when you're here because, we're filming a couple episodes in advance when you're here, so we're not going to have a lot of news to talk about, but unless
Twitter just explode and like unreleased, unannounced games just be like, wait there, that's coming out? Yeah. Wait, what? Then
yeah, it's so this is kind of the topic of the show, and this is kind of, it hits home to both of us, like just because Satoru Iwata was such an important figure in Nintendo's history, and you could now you can literally see his legacy in the Switch. Like earlier this week, it was reported that Switch contained a hidden golf game called Flog, and now details on how to emerge or how to unlock the game have emerged, and one could say that the method is a little tear-jerking. The system date on your Switch has to be set to July 11th without it being updated or connected to the internet. It has to be run on like 1.0 version hardware OS. The date is important because that was the day Satoru Iwata passed away kind of unexpectedly to a lot of the fans of Nintendo. Like I'm sure the company knew about how sick he was and stuff, but so every July 11th, if you do the Joy-Con gesture, like, the Iwata Direct to you gesture from the Nintendo Directs, every July 11th, you will unlock NES Golf, which he himself coded the whole game, and it's just this amazing little tribute to Satoru Iwata that's just like, I think Nintendo didn't care if anybody found it. It was just something they felt they needed to include, and this is such a Nintendo move to do something like this.
Yes.
And like you can see the legacy of him inside the Switch just based on like, okay, obviously the Wii U as much as you and I both love the Wii U, like that concept didn't work, but there are aspects of it that worked. What worked and what didn't. 2-screen thing didn't work so well, but people did use the off TV mode a lot. Okay, so how do we make this device work off the TV and on the TV? Like the dock system, plugging it into the TV and undocking it is definitely an Iwata thing. You know,
yes.
the games lineup is definitely an Iwata thing. It's just, and now that we have this like secret little Easter egg in this device is just like when I read that, like I got kind of choked up because like this was right after you and I started podcasting together. I went to New York with my wife, and that was the first time I visited the Nintendo World Store, and it was Sunday and the store was closed, and I was like, crap, whatever. And we were waiting there's a subway station real close, and we were kind of like looking up directions on how to get there. And I opened the IGN app just to like check on stuff, and I was literally standing outside the Nintendo World Store when I found out that Satoru Iwata had passed away. And I was like, holy crap, wait, what? Like, and I thought the story was like, I thought it was like, it's just one of those things where you're just like,
it takes you by, because I was literally on Twitter and I seen that and it was breaking news. I'm like, what's going on? And when I seen it, I just said, what? I was so loud, said no, told my mom that like the president of Nintendo passed away, or CEO at that time. I'm like, and this is very major. Came back in my room and literally started crying. My friend, I literally told my friend, I'm like, we got to go out to eat. We got to go out. Got in his car and bawled. Like, literally went to the bar and was just like, I need a drink.
Yeah.
And the bartender just like, they know me. They were just like, you do not. I'm just like, I need this kind of drink and I might need to. Yeah. And a lot of people who know me know how big of a Nintendo fan I am. That hit everybody in this whole world who is a gamer, whether you like Nintendo or not.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody has a past with Nintendo, and everybody likes some aspect of Nintendo. Like everybody loves some aspect of Nintendo. It doesn't matter if you don't like. Okay, so a lot of people only buy PlayStation now, whatever. Like, you know, it's just like this hit the gaming community as a whole.
Yes. And it's just like if you go to 2014 when that smash of Iwata fighting Reggie Fils-Aimé,
oh my God,
if you just look at, like, yes, like you look at the Nintendo Directs, and I don't care how many memes that was made of Iwata, you gotta respect the man who was able to get Earthbound together, was able to work on Pokemon Gold and Silver to get two countries or continents to be fit on that game when everybody said that it couldn't be done. There was stuff that people thought that couldn't be done in Nintendo that Iwata did. You have to give Iwata a chance for Nintendo Direct alone, because when you watch Nintendo Direct, you was waiting to see Iwata and waiting to see what crazy stuff that he was going to do. But there was something about him that was just so compassionate when he apologized for games being delayed. There was just something that when you heard him like speaking English, whether he took his time or something, he just had a charm about him. So he left a legacy with Nintendo and kind of left a legacy in video games to this very day. Like besides, like, once Miyamoto passed away, that's just pretty much it. Like, that's going to be a day to remember. Like, that's like, we as Nintendo fans, definitely for me, like July 11th, I celebrate the life and death of Iwata. Like, I go out and get sushi, or I play a particular Nintendo game, whether he made it or not. Like, I reflect on what he has done for the company, but kind of what he's did for the gaming industry that we tend to not respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people just literally sometimes just go dark and just be like, I don't want to be bothered, because some people are still mourning, and even though we didn't have no kind of we didn't really know him as a person and stuff, I'll just be like, hey, you kind of gotta give him respect that he showed up in a puppet form to do this little thing and just dancing around, and then to hear that he passed away after that, it's just like, that's hard hitting. So to see Nintendo to make this tribute to him with this golf game, to see him still in I don't know if he's in Miitopia, but to see him in Miitomo, to go back and look at the old directs and stuff, you kind of see, how inspiring and how charismatic, or I can't say the word, and just how wonderful of a person he is. So to see Nintendo to make this as a thing on July 11th, to do the direct, and people still do it to this very day, talking about it, it's very heartwarming. Like, and some people get still misty-eyed, but it really made me smile, because it was just like, that's very big that they did something like that for a person like this, because it's like everybody's just like, protect me, Miyamoto, he's a national treasure, and he really is. Like, I think we have more respect for Japanese developers than we have for American developers.
Yeah.
Like Gabe Newell, when he passed away, the PC community is probably going to have a bigger viewing of him passing away.
Yeah.
Than we have. So.
Yeah, It was just this crazy thing, like and I saw how it hit people kind of firsthand. Like, the next day we went back to the Nintendo World Store, because like it was well, first of all, I wanted to go there, but like they had announced on Twitter that they were doing a tribute to Satoru Iwata over the next couple days, because he had passed away or whatever. And like, when I got there were people like lined up to get in, and like there's this guest book that you could sign, and they're like, we encourage you to write your favorite Nintendo memory, or like your favorite Iwata memory, or like just writing a tribute to Satoru Iwata. And like there's a section of the store where people were like leaving Kirby plushies, or somebody had brought in like a bushel of bananas or like, there's so many people had like drawn things and brought them in, and it covered the window out to the outside, like all these Kirby drawings and Pokemon drawings, and just all these crazy things. And it's just like, wow, this hit people a lot harder than I thought it would. Like, yeah, a lot of people in the gaming space understand what he meant to video games, but like this is the first time I'd ever seen a lot of people like really
go out,
like
that. Like the famous picture still to this day, not art wise, is that rainbow going over Nintendo. Like the day, like I think it was like the day or something that he passed. I think
it was the day of his funeral.
Oh, the day of his funeral.
Yeah.
So, and it kind of showed like, not it wasn't Destiny or something like that, but it was just like, wow, how weird is it for that to happen, but how amazing and fitting that it did happen.
Yeah, it was just one of those things, man, that was just like, wow, and everybody was like, there was all this speculation and stuff, like there's all this speculation and stuff that was like, what's going to happen to Nintendo now? Because he was such a force, such a leader, and like,
right,
he had two of the biggest consoles Nintendo had ever produced, like the two of like the top 5 selling consoles of all time. He led and produced and like got out there, and like
he took a salary cut when Nintendo sales was down. What CEO does that?
Yeah. Like he cut his salary in like by 50% or something.
Yes, and he made no excuse about it.
Yeah, and it's just like, in everything that we got from like DS and Wii, everything we got from Wii U and the 3DS, like coming back to Switch is like we got the product I think he always wanted to make, and like, you know, all of it, like we look at the Wii U as a failure, but you know, if you think about it from like Iwata's perspective at the time, you're like, well, this is an idea I have. Let's get an idea out there and we'll perfect it the second time around, and we'll still take what works, what doesn't. And like, dude, the Switch is killing it right now, and like this device is like the perfection of his idea of what he wanted the DS and the Wii U to be. You know,
yes.
This is how that. I mean, that's what I see it as. Like, you think about it from his perspective. I have a lot of great ideas. Boom, 2 screens. Boom, motion control. Boom. Oh, okay. You can play this game on your TV and in handheld mode. Oh, okay. The 2-screen thing doesn't really work anymore. How do we fix that? The Wii U has a lot of good ideas. The DS has a lot of great ideas. How do we fix that? Boom, Switch. Like that's how I see it, and it's amazing. It's just I would love to just be inside of his brain for like 5 minutes.
Okay, like I would love to just be in his presence, not even be in his brain, not even hearing the speech, just like I'm by Satoru Iwata, like one of the greatest game developers probably of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless how people see him, I'm like, I don't feel like, besides Miyamoto, I'm like, there's nobody that's on your level
mm-hmm.
that I literally respect.
Mm-hmm.
And it still to this very day, that GDC talk, you know, people are still commenting on when he made that. Like, you don't get that from developers now.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk about all the big fancy 60 frames per second, the graphics, how powerful your system is, and that don't have no meaning. You could talk all about that, pass away, and people will feel sad, but you don't have that same level of respect like Iwata has.
Mm-hmm.
Iwata never bragged. I feel like Iwata never bragged about the console. Like 60 frames per second and big budget games and all that never came from his mouth. His thing was just like, I just want you as a person, of a player, of a lover of video games to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he constantly reminded us why that's more important than 60 frames per second. Because guess what? You can talk about 60 frames per second, but we'll talk more about how bad your game is.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about that with Nintendo, but we'll always be like, but I'm still having fun. And there's some great ideas that in this game. So I'm willing to see how good it sells, and hopefully a sequel comes from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that was Iwata. You know, like literally take a day. If you have a chance, Power Blockers, take a day and watch someone in Nintendo Direct and just see how that whole transition has happened with Nintendo, with Iwata being at the head of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we love Reggie, we love Bill Trinen coming in doing the directs and stuff, but I'm just like, you take some time and you watch Iwata, and there's just something about him that would make you be like, this is why he did Nintendo Direct, and this is why I love him for doing it.
Yeah, I'm really sad that he didn't get to live to see the Switch's success, because this is probably his crowning achievement. Like, you know, yeah, the Wii was a huge success, but like, this is the culmination of all of his ideas, and to see it succeed and not to see him here to witness the success of this amazing device is just, it's kind of, I mean, it's heartbreaking that he's not here anyway, but like, it's heartbreaking it's always heartbreaking to see someone not be able to witness the success of their ideas or their plans, or, you know, and you know, like the streamline of content, you know, I'm sure was in the pipeline probably right before he died, or before, like a little bit before, like, you know, they probably had plans, like release plans for these games before he passed away. But like, it's just really sad to see someone like that not witness the success of their idea, and you know, the best way to respect that is to like show your appreciation for his ideas in this device, like to own one. Like, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh yeah, I'm a huge Nintendo Switch supporter, everybody should own one, but I'm saying like he was a great man, and to like honor his ideas and stuff is to like support this device and the idea. And like people are, and like I know a lot of people who own a Switch probably don't even know any of this happened. Like, you know, a lot of people are just buying the Switch because it's a cool device, but for huge Nintendo fans, like
you look at the legacy that he left and how it evolved, that evolution. Like I don't think Microsoft and Sony, and not to get on them and their systems, but I don't think they understand why Nintendo did the stuff that they did. Mm-hmm. Why innovation was always the forefront to bring fun. So regardless of it succeeded or failed or stuff, looking at it out of businesses, that's all good if you want to look at that. But it evolved and it changed to make it to what it is today. And they're going to take what it is today and try to exceed that and continue to evolve. And that's Iwata. He evolved over time from game development to becoming CEO of Nintendo, mm-hmm. to his passing away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's I was always interested to see where Nintendo would go without him, and it's amazing to see them take this direction. Like he's still there. Like it really feels mm-hmm. like he's still there, and it's really cool.
I see it in Kiwashima and the one guy who's head over who was like the R&D, or the one who did the Nintendo Direct. Like I could see him as the next Iwata. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's good that they're trusting the young people, but I'm just like, you're continuing the work of Iwata, and I respect that. So from me to you, Iwata, rest in peace. I hope to have a mushroom cupcake in your name one day. Not to add in on a sad note for me, but I'm just like, Iwata meant a lot to me. Even though I might not show it, his games and his work really meant a lot, and I wouldn't be the Nintendo fan without his involvement in Nintendo's history mm-hmm. in video games. Mm-hmm. So rest in peace, Iwata. That was cool for Nintendo to end, put that golf game in, and hopefully July 11th next year that I actually eat more sushi and have a drink in his name.
Maybe we'll do a small tribute to him when you're up here. We'll do just something. We'll do something. It's gonna be, I'm sad that he's still not with us, but I think like the Switch is the best device Nintendo has put out in a long time. Like I loved my Wii and Wii U, and I love my 3DS, but like the Switch is the device that Iwata wanted, and it's amazing to see that Nintendo put this golf game in here as this just tiny little tribute, and it's just like, it just shows that Nintendo still thinks about what Iwata would want, how would he kind of run this business if he were still here, and like it just shows that he was a very respected man in that company, and it's just, yeah, rest in peace, Iwata. We miss your presence, but we still feel it when we play your game or Nintendo's games, and obviously Nintendo still feels it too now that this is in here. And I can't wait till July 11th to try it. Like
exactly.
Like I like, it's still a thing, right? Like even now, like July 11th, we can play it next year, right? Has that been confirmed or not? Like with the system updates and stuff.
We'll see.
Guess we'll have to do a Let's Pod and play that day.
Exactly.
So, but I think that's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Power Block. Like I said, we are forming a few special episodes when Ed's up here. So we are saving your questions for those episodes. Ed, I'm really excited for you to be here. Are we recording on Thursday for a Friday episode, or are we just gonna?
We shall see. Let me see how my train ride goes, because if I can record from the train and I'm not waking nobody up, we might do something.
Yeah, we'll see. That episode might be late. There might not be an episode Friday, but that's because Ed and I are doing cool stuff. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted in the Facebook group and on Twitter and stuff. Facebook.com/groups/Nintendo Power Block. Email the show with your questions at NintendoPowerBlock@gmail.com. We want your questions. We're trying to fill up a bunch of episodes with your questions. I'm so excited. Ed, what's that face for? You look like somebody just farted in your face. And
no, I'm just happy that I'm coming down and just talking about Iwata Nintendo. Sorry about that.
Ed, we're gonna eat some good food.
Yes.
We're gonna live stream some Destiny. We're gonna do some Let's Pod and Play for Nintendo games. We're gonna battle each other in ARMS. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff. Maybe we'll get Sana involved and we'll play some 1-2 Switch.
Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Oh man, some Mario Kart. We're gonna battle out in Mario Kart. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna fight.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at @RetroCode. You can also check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. Check the link out at ngrradio.com and at the anomalous.network.poppy.com. This week, I will be talking the final part of the video games. I will be focusing on arcade, so you guys will be able to check that out. I'm sorry that I'm late with the PC stuff. I got to still get those blogs up and get that episode up, so I do apologize for that, everybody. That's on me. A lot of things at work has changed, so that kind of affect everything. And then this Saturday, for the video games arcade podcast edition, Sir Josh Brent will be joining me on that episode, so you guys will be able to hear that. And then Saturday, Eric M. Hunter for I Am Eric M. Hunter will be doing the eulogy. So do check out those episodes when it drops.
Nice. You can follow me on CorianHD on Instagram, CorianHD on Twitch, CorianUHD on Twitter. You can find me hanging out in the NGR Radio Facebook group and in Power Block Facebook group. I'm trying to do better at being a good participant in the groups. I'm sorry that I'm trying to work a whole bunch of hours so I can take some time off to spend with Ed when he comes up here. So you can find Nintendo Power Block Tuesdays and Fridays on your podcast service of choice. Rate us, comment, all that good stuff. It helps us with discoverability, which our numbers have grown a little bit in the last couple weeks, which I'm pretty proud of. Ed, I'm proud of you. You can find the video version on NGR Radio's YouTube page and on ngrradio.com, which Tuesday the website should be back up in its new form, so I can't wait to show off that. So make that announcement on Tuesday when it goes up. I think that's pretty much it. Download our family of podcasts, Arsenal X, which is our Xbox podcast, Nerds Gone Platinum, which is our PlayStation podcast, World 1-1, NGR Radio, The Brew Review, all that good stuff. Check out our friends. They post in the Creators Corner. If you are a creator, we do encourage you to post in there, tips, tricks, guest spots, everything. Just make sure you check that out. And
yes,
Ed, this is it. This is the week. This is the week. Yes! When this episode posts, you will literally be here in 2.5 days when this episode posts.
Yes.
I'm so excited. So, anyways, I'm going to get some water because we have more podcasts to record. And
yes, we do.
Until next time, we love you. Thanks for watching. We love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Woohoo!